I didn't know any of this was possible when I first got into this. And what I've seen since working in the retreat and working on the business outside the retreat, both of these experiences, I see transformations that are absolutely night and day. I just interviewed, so we're doing a case study on this entrepreneur from Arkansas right now. He owns like one of the biggest plumbing companies in Arkansas, a really successful guy, and he's 44 years old. And his testimony is that he's lived his entire life angry. Like he's built his business on anger. His relationships are fueled by anger. Like he's driven himself to success, like on this feeling of anger. And he says that he never allowed himself to like even appreciate his success and sit back and relax and be happy about it or be happy about himself. And this was, his testimony and his experience before going through this retreat. And then he went through this experience and just said he melted. Like he just exploded and just let all of these emotions just melt away, and just had an experience where he found that like the beauty of himself was just inside.
Hey everybody, welcome to Psychedelic Spotlight. I am here with Andrew Tansil from Sayulita Wellness Retreat Centre. How you doing today?
Sacha, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me on. It's an honor to be here and share some of the wisdom and experience from the psychedelic retreat space.
It's excellent to have you here. I have so many questions for you, but first, I want to talk about you a little bit, and then I want to talk about what happens down at Sayulita Wellness. So, Andrew, what brought you to this very, very particular vocation and career? It's not for everybody, and I'm just curious what your background is and what path led you to this particular, place in life.
Yeah, for sure. So I did events in my 20s, and it was kind of a hobby and a side business. I did like neighborhood festivals and music festivals and that sort of thing just for my community back in St. Louis, where I'm from. And I put that to the side, and I've been network marketing, internet marketing, and helping agency owners grow their business for the past like 5 or 6 years. And I was down in Mexico, and I went for one of these treatments with my current partners, and I had my eyes opened. I had anxiety for like 5 or 6 years, and after one of these treatments, I literally just connected with myself. I was living like on the beach for like 30 days after this experience, just completely grounding and reflecting on like what like had been given to me in the experience and how profound it was. And I really stayed in contact with the group and the tribe that had taken me through this experience, and they became like family. And I just found so much nourishment. I was the happiest I've been in my 30s. I'm 38 now. And when I started this, like it was the happiest I've been in my 30s. And like that testimony and that experience for myself was like just inspirational. I wanted to give this experience to as many people, because I know so many people suffer with mental health and have a number of different issues and have difficult experiences in life and have trouble getting over that. And it just was so profound to me. And I really had done mushrooms and I've done retreats. I've been kind of like an addict to the cool outside the box type experiences. And I like to travel and do all these other things, but I've never had an experience like I had with my partners like in like about a year and a half ago when this all started. And it literally just lit me up. And I just asked him, like, what can I do for you? How can I help whatever is going on here and help you reach more people and help this vision expand? And within 30 days, we formed a partnership that brought me on board. And it has been like a roller coaster of just like the most enlightening experience I've had in my life, and the most fulfilling. Like I've had in a number of different businesses in my life, but this is just hands down the most fulfilling business I've ever been in, and it's just been incredible. Yeah.
I love hearing that. It sounds like you were going in one direction, and then all of a sudden this detour just like took you way over here in Sayulita, and you're just like, you're diving in both feet, and just because it's so heart-centered for you. And I think that's great. So you basically partnered with an existing retreat that was there. And then you're helping everybody like make it more accessible and market it to, the psychedelic tourists that are out there right now.
Yeah, 100%. Just expand it and just add the value of the marketing and the business and the structure and everything else that from my experience in the past, and just help them grow and be a part of it. It's been amazing. So I just wanted to help more people.
And you are, I can tell. I've got some stats that I'm going to get to in a minute. But so at a high level view, can you give us a little bit sort of, paint a picture, if you will, what it's like for someone coming to Sayulita Wellness Retreat? They've probably never been to one of these before. What should one expect at your retreat center?
Yeah, 100%. So we have an onboarding process to make sure everyone's pre-qualified to go through this treatment experience. And, once you get here, everybody on the team has had experience with the treatments and with the medicine and comes from a place of just pure love. Like we all understand what these, psychedelics are here to teach us and here to do for us. It's to expand us, to open our heart. And so that we become, more grateful about our life and shifting that perspective of the life that we're really designed for and aligned with our purpose. And so everybody's from start to finish is open to just welcoming and inviting everyone. And one of the first things we do once people get there is have an intention ceremony to understand really intimately what people are there for. And then our team responds, and we have a really well thought out process of going through the steps of integrating that intention that people have with our psychotherapists or hypnotherapists, with our yoga instructors, with our chefs, with our house assistants, and the manager of the retreats. Everyone's there to help support that intention unfold in its most natural sense. And that a lot of people have breakthroughs before they even get to the treatment. And so it's a very loving and a very, very intentional and very family-like experience once you get down here.
It sounds amazing, and the reviews are insane. Like, I went to Retreat Guru, and I have to say, there wasn't one negative review. In fact, as I was going through, all these beautiful testimonials, there were numerous accounts of people saying this was the best experience they've ever had in their lives, or that it was completely life changing. And Andrew, I know you've been in the space for a little over a year now, but can you give testament, or can you, sort of like let the listeners know today, like some profound experiences or transformations in people that you've witnessed while being a facilitator there at the retreat center?
Yeah. Yeah. For starters, like I didn't know any of this was possible when I first got into this. And what I've seen since working in the retreat and working on the business outside the retreat, both of these experiences, I see transformations that are absolutely night and day. I just interviewed, so we're doing a case study on this entrepreneur from Arkansas right now. He owns like one of the biggest plumbing companies in Arkansas, a really successful guy, and he's 44 years old. And his testimony is that he's lived his entire life angry. Like he's built his business on anger. His relationships are fueled by anger. Like he's driven himself to success, like on this feeling of anger. And he says that he never allowed himself to like even appreciate his success and sit back and relax and be happy about it or be happy about himself. And this was, his testimony and his experience before going through this retreat. And then he went through this experience and, like just said he melted, like he just exploded and just let all of these emotions just melt away, and just had an experience where he found that like the beauty of himself was just inside. And after he saw that beauty that was inside of him, and by the way, this guy is a biker, like he's got a big beard. He brought a literal security guard with him named Butch with him. Yeah, I mean this is a guy that like is never does not like like he was not very fascinated with butterflies and beautiful roses and that sort of thing, and just one of the toughest guys, and he literally went through this process and just let go of all that weight and that anger, and he forgave. He let go of the pain that was like inside of him. He's like for 44 years. And since then, I just talked to him yesterday. This is 6 weeks after his experience. He's been posting to our group like every single day, inspirational quotes, pictures that he took at the retreat of like the sunset with like little captions saying like, hope you guys all understand how beautiful you are today. And I think we're going to bring him on our podcast and just have him share his personal story. We just like, I just released a case study for him like on our website today if anyone wants to read about it. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So like seeing these types of transformations of people that, and he's done every single pharmaceutical that a doctor would possibly prescribe him. He's tried alcohol, THC. He's tried different types of therapy, it's one of those people that kind of reached the end of the rope. And he said to himself, is like, dude, it's either suicide or this, before he came down the retreat. And that's something that I hear, like, I don't do as many sales, but when I, right now, but when I used to do sales, like this is a lot of people are, choose this type of treatment of like the end of the rope and like, this is their option, and that's honestly one of the scariest things, like as a salesperson is like hearing them say these things and like, like there's been times where I've literally just cried on the phone because like I just wanted them to go through this process because like they don't see through my eyes like what truly is possible. And I've just seen this so many times. People that have 15 years of treatment resistant depression having a breakthrough and then calling back like weeks later, like, yeah, I just launched a business. I'm having the time of my life. Like I turned my dating profiles on. Like I'm out in LA right now meeting with like a couple of cool people that I'm mentoring with. And I mean, people that just have been suffering for decades in years and without having any reprieve or any inner peace, just having a life back again. That's been the most like shocking for me because I just didn't know like this technology exists. I didn't know this potential to transform in such a short period of time existed, and that's my own ignorance, and that's like just what I like. My entire life, I didn't know that it was even a real thing, And so going through this retreat and being a part of this transformation, it's been the most fulfilling part is just watching people just shed all those layers of stuff that's not them, the past, the trauma, the childhood stuff, like whatever's in the way, just watching them shed that and then see their new spirit on the other side. Like, we've got people that are just like, yeah, I'm going snowboarding now. Like I'm literally, one of our, participants, like went back and went to Italy and started traveling the world. And, a lot of our participants, this is kind of odd, but like they literally just moved down to where we're at. Like we have a participant named Mo. He just finally, he moved down for like 3 or 4 months after his retreat and just like never left Sayulita. And we had another participant, just like she's from New York. She had her own art studio in New York City, and she was just like during the retreat, she's like, "I'm going to move here," and I was like, "Okay." And so she moved here. She subleased her apartment and put someone in place to do her manage her business, and just moved down here. And it's just like living the dream and just being happy and reconnecting with himself and living in like paradise. Like it's 300 sunshine 300 days a year. It's just sunny and it's beautiful and there's wonderful people there and it's just such a positive place. And so it's one of the reasons we have our retreat center down in this part of the world. And yeah, that's just some of the beautiful transformations that people go through is like breaking through that layer of stuff that's just held them back in life and like never picking it up again. Like that's what's I think most significant is like it's a permanent life change after people go through this. Um, you know, yeah.
I hear that a lot. Yeah, I do. I do. I
Yeah.
hear it. I hear it all the time. It's echoed in the industry that we're in. How people suddenly they just quit drinking, they quit vaping, any sort of like habits they're looking to sort of like get rid of, like through the use of a microdosing protocol or something like this. Suddenly they're just walking away from that. But I love what you just said when they can shed the layers of an identity that they've been holding on to because it's familiar and it's what they know, but they have no idea what's on the other side of letting that go and finding out their true authentic selves. And there's these extreme examples that you're telling me where they're like, I'm just going to pack up and leave and see you later. I'm moving to Sayulita. But then for folks like the biker plumber guy that you were talking about, I love that because they can take that transformation back and apply it to their everyday life and just be so much more present and content and happy and not angry anymore. And I think for many people, that's really all they're looking for. Is it's great to unplug from the matrix, but can I be happy every day? And you're saying, yeah, it's possible. And plant medicine, you know, is a shortcut. It's an acute shortcut to that realization. Now, we can get there naturally. Yes, there's therapy, there's breath work, there's meditation, there's all these other things that we can be doing. But if we need to, get a strong injection in the arm of that, this is the way to go. I think I hear people clicking their browsers right now and booking online as we speak. Because your testimonials are so profound. I think you're gonna have some new customers after this podcast for sure. I mean, I think I want to go down and see what it's all about. But this is so crazy. You've done over, I think I read on your website, 4,000 psychedelic experiences, or more than that by now.
Yeah, under the umbrella of this business with my partners, and then like our one of my partners, she's a shamana, so she was trained in Peru, in Guatemala, in Mexico, and her grandfather was a shaman. So she's done over 10,000 of these, But like, so she's one of the biggest reasons I joined. Her name's Nirvana, and she's just pure inspiration, and she's one of the people that you can ask any question to, and be from any walk of life. I mean, about 20% of our clients are lawyers for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they come from all these really diverse backgrounds of people that are, business owners, people that are, just at their end of life and want that reset and that that calming and that reconnection with themselves to kind of let go of that fear. And, she's just able to meet everyone and just answer any question that people have about these treatments, about themselves, and about the transformational process. And it's just incredible, seeing them work and being inspired by that. And it's just it's so promising, because like there hasn't been anyone that hasn't, been able to make a breakthrough and walk through that process and have success with this. And I think a testimony to that is, having the really level of sophistication and having, a kaleidoscope of different providers and professionals to really help support the journey. Like, one of our big parts of our mission is having, we have 2 psychotherapists, we have a psychologist, and we have, providers that have been doing these treatments for over, their entire lifetime. Charlie and Nirvana are my partners, and they provide for these experiences, and they've been working together for 10 years and I've done just thousands of these. And, it's like not the numbers that count. When you do that many, it's just, you have been able to solve the level of problems that people have from so many different angles, and combine that with like the Western, scientific, like skill sets that we have developed, and you really merge those two, you're going to get the best experience. And that's really what we've built here, and why I think we get like such a high level of like positive testimonials and positive results for these people, because it's so much about preparation. It's so much about preparation and integration. Like, those parts are just really essential. And so being able to have that wrapper around an experience, because like, I've had probably 30 psilocybin mushroom experiences since I was 25, and I never had anything that was like permanently life-changing for me, that like just put me onto a place where I could understand like who I am and what I was meant to do here, and align with that like a lightning bolt. And that's what, having that program, did for me. And that's why we just wanted to keep doing this and repeat this for the world.
Yeah. And I have a question too for the audience. So a lot of experience with psilocybin ceremonies. Do you also facilitate other compounds and modalities like DMT, for instance, or do you guys just stick to the psilocybin?
Yeah, we do DMT as well. It's something that's just optional on the menu, so to speak. And one of the reasons for that is, psilocybin can and will take you as far as you need to go, as far as the transformation. It's got the capability, with the right dose, with the right intention, and with the right setting and preparation. Anybody can get what they need from psilocybin exclusively. And so the second option of like having the DMT there is, some people want to experience that and take that transformational experience to that next level. And so that's something we offer as like, to supplement the experience. It's something that really helps people break addiction, and break through, like, previous relationships, get over, like, things that are treatment resistant, that sort of thing. And so it's like, kind of, just a complementary thing to the psilocybin, and it really helps, just for the people that are a good fit for it, which everybody's not a good fit for it, but some people are, and so we like to provide it.
I love that. I love how you're framing that for folks who want to take it a step further. If they really need to break the chain, sorry, with some sort of attachment, that the
Right.
DMT can really be a helpful plant teacher in that way. So you did touch on it earlier, but I really want to reiterate this for some of the
Yeah.
audience here, because at Psychedelic Spotlight, our audience, there's a lot of psychonauts in the space. There's a lot of folks that have actually been to a psychedelic retreat of some kind before, but there's probably a larger portion of
Yeah.
folks that have never been. And I think it comes with some trepidation. I myself included, like, this will be my first year going to a psychedelic retreat. I still have to pick which one I'm going to, but I'm going. And part of the thing is that you're traveling outside of
Yeah.
your country most of the time. You are
Yeah.
outside the medical standards and regulations that you're used to, and you're relying on a traditional indigenous practice most of the time. And so that's why it's recommended that you go to a retreat center that offers what they call co-therapy. So you mentioned that you do have some psychotherapists on staff. Can you just elaborate a little bit
Yeah.
more about the mix of staff that you have, with that, that mix of that Western standardization with what you're experiencing, with on the psychedelic side with psilocybin as well? Can you elaborate a little bit there?
We have two therapists, and a male and a female, and both of them work with our clients and do the aftercare and the follow up. And what we've really created is a program that really takes like a lot of the philosophies of like Jungian, and like other types of just the practical types of therapy that help with PTSD, anxiety, depression, and addiction, and have combined it with the treatment program, and so that people, like, no matter what they're going through, will have like the recipe that will help them through their process. And so we have that level of integration where we have that, the skill sets like combined, and all of those problems have been solved by like the collection of the staff, and our staff meets at the end of each retreat to really rehash and understand like what got people to break through, what got people past that finish line for each one of those clients. And so every single retreat, we make sure we get better, and we make sure we meet all those needs, and we make sure the entire team learns from all those specific problems that people had as they showed up, and also shared the skills and the advice that got them across that finish line. And so we're always getting better, because right now, I mean, this is just a new ground as far as like an industry. And so everyone is engineering their own process, and also really learning from, other people's processes that works. And so that's one of the reasons I like to, go on and share really what we've built. And I'd like to be just totally transparent about everything, because I think everybody deserves to know, how to have a profound experience with these treatments and do it in a safe and predictable way. And that's really what we've done. And I think, I know that's a big part of our mission, and certainly our legacy is really sharing that process we built with the world, so everybody can get access to it, not just experience it, but know it for themselves.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. I think that's great. I think that, making it public, other folks can, like, download, like what you've been doing lately, like what your protocol is. And,
Yeah.
only through sharing through a network of, different retreat centers or medical professionals can you get that standardization in place. And you are right. It is a bit of the wild, wild west right now, especially in the retreat space. But I did notice that on your website that you do offer 4 weeks of integration after the actual ceremonies. So I think that's great. I don't think I've seen that at all retreat centers that are listed. So this is
Yeah.
something that definitely makes you stand out, to me, in terms of someone who's vetting and researching, et cetera, that you do offer that aftercare, with the clinicians and with the psychotherapists to help you
Yeah.
integrate those lessons.
The actual treatment is the breakthrough. It's like where you see from a new perspective and have all this connection with yourself that you didn't have before. And you're essentially like a new person with a new identity once you come out the other side. And so the integration just helps people actually take the steps and hold them accountable for what they commit to at the retreat. And if you don't have that, then you're going to have people coming back being like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I made all this progress and then I kind of backslid. Well, that integration is so essential because it helps people take those just normal steps, just the practical steps to move forward and make those changes in their life, whether it's changes in relationships, changes in environment, changes in their career. I mean, I would say literally over 50% of people change something physically about themselves, whether that's eating less meat, drinking less alcohol. And these are people like, this isn't really even part of their intention. These are just side effects of going through this profound experiences. They start making changes physically to really match their new energy level, so to speak, and to match the new mindset and lifestyle that they're, acclimating to. And so we're able to really calibrate and like build in like that meditation, that yoga, the exercise, like drinking, enough water each day into that aftercare program. And so that everyone stays accountable and then gets consistent results. And of course, we know that after 21 days, you build a habit. And so after 4 weeks of working with us and showing up on those calls, like everyone's really on a new track in life. And we can support people in that way and make sure that it's a permanent change, make sure that that realization that they had becomes their new reality. And that's why that's so important. I think it's one of the most important parts of the entire process.
I love that. It's like really, I love the responsibility Sayulita is taking in terms of helping people completely change their life game. Like and holistically sort of integrate it with all aspects, physically, emotionally, spiritually, even interpersonally, like with relationships, like everything. It seems like it's a whole new life game program, which is exciting, I'd say, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have
Yeah.
some fun questions for you. One question I have to ask, just from one business person to another, is what is the biggest surprise to you in terms of like getting into this business? What did you not expect? And I'm not talking about the transformational, awesome side of it. I'm just talking about a strictly business side. Like, what was really surprising to you about getting into the retreat business?
So, I mean, the love, like honestly, I've had roofing companies, I've had retail businesses, like I've had, a lot of different, businesses I've been a part of, and I've just never felt this much love, from just being a part of something so beautiful and being a part of a team that's just here for the right reasons. Like, as far as like being aligned with purpose and seeing people change like this, like I just thank God, I don't have like another idea about like what I would give myself to in life, except for something just as beautiful and as loving, as captivating, and as transformational as this. Because in life, like all of our services and products and everything in business is there just to really sell a transformation. And so, the gap in that transformation from before to after is like the value of your product. And I've never sold something or been a part of something that's been so valuable and just so life changing. I mean, I see tears, like weekly, and just tears of beauty, tears of change, tears of permanent transformation. People just didn't believe was possible becomes reality. And I mean, like, that's just, that will just open anyone's heart, that will just inspire anyone. And, there's just so much love. There's so much love. That's what, like, I never would have expected. When I first started, I was like, that was incredible. Let's get this to the world. And yeah.
That's awesome. And then, okay, so then what do you see? Like, we're in the beginning of 2023. Where do you see the psychedelic tourism going this year? Is it going to increase? Is it going to
Yeah, for sure.
stagnate?
I mean, it's been growing really steadily. And I would say like growing actually like really quickly. A lot of people come to Mexico because it's convenient and it's a safe place to come. And especially the area we're at, we have like the highest retail value of businesses, of land, of tourism. And it's really just been integrated. We have the Four Seasons right, like, down the street from us. And it's just a really great area. And so I think we attract a lot of people because of our location. And, I think in the next, 2 years, we're going to have, retreat centers in the States that can, offer the same level of service, just in a different environment, in a different setting, and get the same results. And so I think it's expanding because of, Michael Pollan, because of the media, because of the people's desire to change and seeing the evidence and all the clinical studies, and I think that's really increasing the demand. And so I think I know there's a really increasing market, and I think people are just going to, I think hopefully the most reliable places, and are getting the right types of treatment, because there's always going to be, pop up shops and things that just really like aren't really that well built in any market. And so, especially when it's like just like we mentioned, the wild wild west, where things are just unregulated, you have to find people that are there for the right reasons, and have like gone, like all of our team is like professional. They've all worked like years in psychotherapy and psychology, and like have degrees, and have just really made a lot of progress in other areas of life. And now they're coming together to really combine all those skills and to create a really powerful experience for people with this new technology of psychedelics. And that's a really exciting place to be. And I think people are finding the right places, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think the floodgates are just about to open up, honestly, in terms of folks just really, rethinking
Yeah,
the whole idea of getting away for a couple of weeks. It's not just like, hey, let's get away for a couple of weeks. It's like, let's get
yeah,
away and completely reset and, get a new
yeah,
life game going here. So for folks that are listening and are
yeah.
curious and want to come visit, where's the best place they can go online to find out more about Sayulita?
Yeah, definitely. You can check out our website, SayulitaWellnessRetreat.com. Keep it simple.